The Porsche 992 is the internal designation for the 8th and current generation of the Porsche 911 sports car, which was introduced at the Porsche Experience Center, Los Angeles on November 27, 2018. Design. The 992 uses rack and pinion steering and has a MacPherson strut front suspension and rear multi-link suspension. The 992 has wide rear wheel arches, which will be a part of every model in the 992 lineage, a change only found on high-performance variants of the 911 previously, along with 20-inch wheels on the front and 21-inch wheels at the rear. Compared to its predecessor, the 992 is 45 mm, 1.8 in, wider and now uses aluminium body panels. The 992 also has a new rear bumper with larger exhaust tips than its predecessor. The front of the car is designed to mimic the appearance of an early 911 in a modern fashion. 992 models have electrical pop-out door handles, a retractable rear spoiler, for specific models only, and LED headlights. All models also feature a full-length rear light bar. The interior also has received significant changes, including a straighter dashboard which harks back to the shape of the dashboard used on the classic 911. The instrument cluster consists of two 7-inch digital displays and an analog tachometer. Also a reference to the classic 911 models. The engines have piezo injection, a revised intake system, and, in some markets under -6 regulations, have engine particulate filters. At launch, the only available transmission was an 8-speed PDK dual-clutch transmission, although now a 7-speed and 6-speed manual are available. The manual 7-speed will only be offered on the GTS and the 6-speed on the GT3 models initially, both of which will have the Sport Chrono package as standard equipment with the manual transmission. Equipment. Standard equipment includes a 10.9-inch display with Porsche Communication Management (PCM) and navigation system, a 8-speed PDK transmission and driver assistance systems including collision detection with braking intervention. A wet mode feature is also introduced on the 992, which uses acoustic sensors on the wheel wells to detect wet pavement and adjusts the stability control, the rear wing position, and gearbox responsiveness to keep the car stable. Optional equipment includes adaptive cruise control, night vision, and sports suspension, which lowers the car by 10 mm, 0.4 in. A Sport Chrono package is also available on all models and features an overboost function that provides increased performance for 20 seconds. 0 to 100 km per hour, 62 miles per hour, acceleration times are decreased by 0.2 seconds with the Sport Chrono package. Turbo and Turbo S. Introduced in March 2020, the 992 Turbo S has a twin-turbocharged 3.7-liter flat-6 engine rated at 478 kilowatts, 641 horsepower, 650 PS, and 800 Nm, 590 lb-ft, of torque. The engine is based on the 3.0-liter unit found in the Carrera models and has a slightly shorter stroke than that of the outgoing Turbo S engine. The compression ratio has also decreased to 8.7 to 1. The car can accelerate to 100 km per hour, 62 miles per hour, in 2.4 seconds, 3.0 seconds for the convertible, to 200 km per hour, 124 miles per hour, in 8 seconds, and has a top speed of 330 km per hour, 205 miles per hour. Both the turbochargers and the air intake system are larger, with the latter now being located directly behind the engine instead of in the rear fenders as on previous 911 turbo models. The rear fenders now house the air filters instead. Two new factory options are available: active suspension management and a sport exhaust. Standard equipment includes Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control, PDCC, rear axle steering, and ceramic composite brakes. The front now has adaptive cooling flaps, while the rear wing is larger and generates 15% more downforce than the previous model. Active anti-roll bars, adaptive dampers, and rear wheel steering are standard features. In July 2020, the turbo variant was introduced. It has the same twin-turbocharged 3.7-liter flat-six engine, detuned to 427 kilowatts, 573 horsepower, 581 PS, and 750 Nm, 553 lb-ft. In a test conducted by Sport Auto on January 30, 2021, the 992 Turbo S with optional aero kit lapped the Nürburgring Nordschleife. On its first attempt, the car ran a 7:25-minute lap. On the second attempt, car itself ran a 7:21-minute lap around the track. However, magazine described, Porsche claimed that the car performs even better on damp conditions than dry conditions because of its unique wet driving mode and specifically developed Pirelli P0NA1 tires that has more grip on damp conditions. Sport Auto attempted the third lap on damp conditions, and the car lapped the 20.6 km course of the track in 7 minutes and 17.3 seconds minutes, which is 0.2 seconds slower than the Sport Auto tested previous generation 991.2 Turbo S's lap time. According to the magazine, Porsche claimed 992 Turbo S had the same performance as its predecessor during pre-production testing at the Nordschleife. However, the lap time made the 992 Turbo S third fastest road legal production vehicle to lap the racetrack at the time without using semi-slick tires. 9 seconds slower than the record holder Nissan GT-R Nismo, and 3 seconds slower than the Lexus LFA Nürburgring package.